Hello, if you are looking for a new career and you want to travel, this could be for you. 3 different roles you could perform as an adjuster. In-house adjuster, field adjuster, remote adjuster. If you're a homeowner looking for something that can help you maneuver around a ladder, giving you the proper way to set up and/or take down a ladder. The little giant will be the ladder used in the videos. Or maybe you're looking for some better understanding on how the claims process works, or maybe wanting to know the exact criteria insurance carriers live by when it comes to hail identification. An ex-State Farm adjuster of 14 years goes independent, then becomes public adjuster, then decides to spill the beans on the rules and/or guidelines they live by when it comes to hail identification. To contractors and roofing companies, if you're looking for additional training for your employees on hail identification, or giving them ideas on how to perform an exterior or interior or roofing inspection without missing any damage, we have the perfect course. The lessons are geared with a hands-on approach, through videos of live inspections and walking through various types of materials damaged by hail, and answering the questions that arise through a step-by-step process of analyzation. Here is a scope sheet. As you can see, starting from the top right, there is a gambrel shed, which has 2 separate measurements on each side of the peak. Measure those, then the length. That is it for the roof. Don't forget to answer the T, A, L, C, O, P, which is explained in the lessons. You perform a test square to each directional slope, and on gambrels, you have 2 directions, so test on either side of the ridge, which is included in the lessons. Move down to the front elevation, right elevation, rear elevation, and left elevation. See that the scope is written in Xactimate code. This saves you time, saves you space on scope sheet, looks professional, and it's not chicken scratch. This way, anyone that is literate of Xactimate can pick this up and finish it for you. The bottom of this scope is the roof of the house. As you can see, there is only 2 test squares. Doesn't matter if you have several different slope facing the same direction, there only needs to be 1 test square per direction. Don't let this confuse you. It's simple. FYI, this scope is disorganized. The roof should be at the top, and the elevations next. Then any outbuildings. If there is interior, flip the scope over and scope it on the back, or get a new sheet. You don't want the exterior and the interior on the same page. Can get messy. See how the Xactimate code is being used, along with the amount, aka linear feet or square feet. You can scope this way, as long as you input the measurements into Xactimate. Then in Xactimate, you can input LF or SF instead of the actual measurement, because the software figures for you. This saves you time and space when writing out in the field, plus if you have an in-house team helping you, it will make it so easy for anyone to follow your work. When you're climbing up on the roof, here is the information you need to gather. 1. Look for drip edge on eaves and rakes. 2. Check layers of shingles, 1 or 2 or 3 layers. 3. Pitch of roof/thickness of shingle, take photo of each reading. If there is a starter present and/or ice and water shield eaves and rakes, document it. 4. Are the gutters is aluminum or steel? You must have a magnet in your tool belt. Are the gutters painted? 5. Finish filling out the T, A, L, C, O, P while you are on the roof. Check out how many events stormed through America this year. The year is not even close to being over. The course Mr. Krebs has put together includes exterior inspection process, interior scoping and diagramming damage, identify hail damage to building materials correctly, thus having the information or facts that support your reasoning. If a discrepancy comes up, you have something to show and explain why you have come up with this conclusion. Rope and harness inspection, complete video of inspection. We share 3 avenues you can follow in becoming an adjuster. Ladder safety, and finally giving homeowners insight on keeping their claim count down and understanding the images presented to them when the initial inspection occurs. On the scope to the left, we have a roof that is square, which I put arrows and I show a test square of 5 hits. Sky FL 3 equals skylight flashing kits, 3 damaged by hail. Dish RO2 equals satellite dishes, detach and reset 2. PIP R10 equals 10 pipe jacks. If the pipe jack is over 2 inch, I will put the size, as they are different price. Ridge high, this is a ridge vent that sets the shingles up a couple inches, to ventilate the attic space. When I put this on my scope, I will take the length of the ridge or eave, should be the same, and subtract the soffit area. This will give you the total on a gable, but not a hip roof. The carport had no damage to the shingles, but there was damage to some elevation materials. SFG Gouda equals eave of roof. PNT FAC, W 8 inches, equals paint fascia, wood, 8-inch face. PNT is 6 columns, you can figure this multiple ways. Scope 2. Gazebo, you see I had 3 hail hits to one direction and 3 hits to the second direction. When the number of hits are below the threshold, this is when you take into account the age of shingle, the condition of shingle. You apply these to the equation and come up with a repair factor on that particular roof. If the repair factor puts your total number of hits per square over the replacement, then you would write in your log. Gazebo roof sustained a total number of 3 hits per square to the rear slopes and to the front slopes. After applying the age and condition of the shingle and with a repair factor of 1.5 to each hit, I am recommending a full replacement. A repair would not be justified, especially if I were to add the foot traffic issue with a repair. These 2 scopes sheets are not a good example of how thorough one should be. The small square, 13 foot 6 inch by 10 foot 4. T equals 300 architectural comp. I equals 7 years. L equals 1 layer. C equals good condition. O equals none. P equals 3/12 pitch. SFG, Gouda, 13 foot 6 inch. DOR, MTL, 1 equals door metal. PNT, OP, 1 equals paint opening. If I don't write any more than you see here, I know that it is remove and replace. If it was detach and reset, I would have put an R. Now, for hip roofs, you measure the eave. Then you take the measurement from eave to ridge and times it by 2. That's all, you don't measure 2 triangles and 2 trapezoids, no. Do what I said, and the waste you add is 15%. Gable roofs is 10% waste factor. What people do is overthink things, when in fact it's simple. Here is one to grow on. Do you think when a hailstone flies down and smashes into a steel door or aluminum vent, do you think there would be a scratch or scuff? The answer is no. So if you see this or something similar, it was not caused by hail. Take a closer look at the course we have. Go to Adjuster, Field Sock, Com, and see additional information. There is a checkout page there as well. If you decide you want the whole course, there will be a space to input the code, hail. Identify 6383. This will give you $10 off on the whole course. You can purchase independent lessons, if you feel like. You know it all already. But let me tell you, just the templates and the Xactimate templates are worth the price. These help you create a routine, thus not missing any damage.